Hello, cretins of the internet. Welcome back to Illusionary Arts. This is the second video on the channel. I'm very excited to bring you this deck list. I'm sorry that it took so long. I'm having lots of technical difficulties for my computer as I'm telling you right now. I already am having technical difficulties. My keyboard turns on and off by itself constantly. I can't really help that, and then it shuts off my computer for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, I'm going to be just, getting right into this deck profile. Going to explain what each card does, why I play the cards at the certain numbers that they're played at, and I'll give you a quick overview of what each card does more or less and why I play them. But without further ado, let's get into it. I play 3 of each Union Monster, 1 A Assault Core, 3 A Assault Core, 3 B Buster Drake, and C Crush Wyvern. They all do the same thing. They attach themselves to a Light-type Machine Monster, and then if that Light-type Machine Monster would be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can send them to the graveyard instead. This is pretty nifty because it helps you sit behind Infinity and auto-protects Infinity and other Exceeds monsters that you would like to make. You can even attach them to the ABC Dragon Cannon. That's really nice. Although their first effects are all similar, their second effects differ. A Assault Core lets you add 1 Union monster from your graveyard to your hand. The Buster Drake lets you add 1 Union monster from your deck to your hand. And C Crush Wyvern helps you special summon 1 Union monster from your hand to the field. These effects are all really nifty. They all coincide with each other, and they have really great synergy together. You gotta play these cards each at 3 and no less because, it's ABCs. That's very self-explanatory. I shouldn't have to get too much into it. My favorite one personally is C Crush Wyvern. This helps you make the combo plays, and B Buster Drake helps you set up first turn. So yeah, they're really, really nice. They're really nifty. I like the art on them. They're pretty cool. We play 2 of each, both Silver and Gold Gadget. Silver and Gold Gadget do the same thing. For those who do not already know, when they're summoned in any way, you can special summon 1 level 4 Machine type monster from your hand to the field, and then if they were destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon 1 level 4 Gadget monster from your deck. You can only use their effects once per turn. The only issue that I really have with these cards is if Silver Gadget dies, you can't special summon another Silver Gadget. It has to be Gold Gadget, but that really doesn't hurt you too much in the deck. These are really good for unbricking your hands and making rank 4 plays. It's really awesome too to special a gold, and then normal a gold, and then special Union Monster and equipped it, and then maybe if you're able to, with double summon, special summon another gadget to equipped, or special summon another Union Monster, and then make an Exceeds play. Both of those Union Monsters will go to the graveyard, and then you have an Exceeds monster plus your ABC Dragon Cannon. It's really nifty. These are really necessary to play in the deck. I wouldn't recommend them any more than 2 each, because if you think about it, you're playing basically 4 copies of the same card. You gotta play 3 Galaxy Soldier. I debated playing this at 2, but he's really nice. He helps get your Union monsters engraved to make ABC Dragon Cannon. He's really nifty. I just really like him so much. He's a really good card. And on top of that, getting the special off Transmodify gives you a free search. This card is really free in the deck. It's easily accessible. Play this card at 3. It's really easy to get to Infinity in this deck, and you like to get to Infinity in this deck. One of the best boards you can make in this deck is an Abyss Dweller, an ABC Dragon Cannon, and a Cyber Dragon Infinity, and he really helps you get to that. I was playing 2 Cyber Dragon, plain old Cyber Dragon, but I had issues because it wasn't searchable outside of Transmodify, and I wanted to save my Transmodify for Galaxy Soldier so I got the free search. So the solution I came up with was Tomb Cyber Dragon and searching it with Tomb Table of Contents. This is a very, very useful card to play in the deck, being that even if it's in your hand, if your opponent controls a monster you control none, you can special summon it out of your hand, thus unbricking your hand. Then you're able to normal summon your monster and quit and use your equip shenanigans. That's really, really useful. It's also a target for Transmodify. I really like this card at 2. I wouldn't bump it up past 2. You should play it as 1 or 2 in the deck. Play 3 of your field spell because it's the most absolutely necessary card in the deck. This is your main combo maker. For those of you who do not know what it does, when it's activated, you can add 1 Light-type Machine Union monster from your deck to your hand, and then once per turn, if a Light-type Machine monster is summoned to your field, you can equip 1 appropriate Light-type Machine Union monster from your deck to that monster. This is what makes all your combo plays possible. There's lots of shenanigans to be done with this card. Equip shenanigans are amazing because you'll end up sending these cards, your Union monsters, to the grave, and then being able to make Buster Cannon. Although you can banish them from the field, this just speeds it up immensely. Because, you know, if you have 2 Union monsters on the board, you know, and you just need a third, this is your solution. This card unbricks your hand. It adds consistency. It's probably one of the more better field spells that Konami has made. I really love this card. Play it at 3. You need to. 3 Transmodify, because Cyber Dragon Infinity is nice. You want to plus off your Galaxy Soldiers. You want to double plus off your Galaxy Soldiers with their searches. It's a really nice card to play. Also, you know, giving you access to 2 Cyber Dragon. If you didn't draw on the 2 table of contents, you need it. It's very nice, very nifty. 2 Double Summon. A problem that this deck has is setting up board first turn. This deck does not mind going first, but Double Summon really helps you not be afraid to go first. Double Summon's awesome. What I'll end up doing with Double Summon is if I have 2 gadgets in my hand, I'll normal a gadget, special the Union monster, equipped it, normal summon using my second normal summon the other gadget, you special summon another Union monster, equipped it, make a rank 4 play, they're in graves. Now I have an Exceeds monster on top of ABC Dragon Cannon. Just a very, very, very nice card to have. I playtested it at 3. It was kind of bricky at 3, and I like it at 2, being that, you know, 2 table of contents and Transmodify, and, you know, this field spell is easily accessible in here. You don't really need 3, but 2 is very nice. You need to play 3 Terraforming. Do not play this card at 2. Do not play this card at 1. Play this card at 3. You must. Getting to your Union Hanger is the most important thing that you can do in this deck. This is your combo maker. You need to get to this card to win the game. That is absolutely necessary. Unless you open with something like 2 Double Summon, which does not happen often, you want to get to Union Hanger. Play Toon Table of Contents to add consistency for your Toon Cyber Dragon. As I said before, the biggest issue I was having when I was playing Cyber Dragon, or even when I was playing Solar Ship, was that it was not searchable and I didn't have it when I needed it. And Toon Table of Contents added that search, that searching aspect, and it boosted my consistency a little bit, being able to deck them. I play 1 copy each of Raigeki and Limiter Removal. This deck can OTK. When it can OTK, you want to OTK. This deck has a very poor recovery, being that, you know, your main playmakers are, you know, your field spells and your dragon. So you want to be able to really push for game when you can. The Union monsters do not mind going to grave. Again, you can end up just swinging with a whole bunch of damage, and then just using the cards in the graveyard for ABC Dragon Cannon. That's really, really nice. Well, actually, during the end phase, you won't be able to do that. But even so, Limiter Removal is a nice card to have in the deck. All of the cards are machine types, so it's pretty easy to abuse this card in the deck. 3 Twin Twister. The deck loses to back row. The deck cannot play past back row. If you get Solemned, you lose. End of story. It's very, very hard to play past back row in this deck. This deck has no auto protection against back row, aside from the Union monsters equipping, and usually they're going to the grave for the Dragon Cannon. So you want to be able to clear your back row so that when you do have the opportunity to attack, you're able to capitalize on those attacks and make the most of them. You play the Solemn Brigade, 3 Solemn Warning, Solemn Strike, and 1 Solemn Warning. Once you have a board, you want to keep a board. You want to stop your opponent from making plays. That's a lot of what the extra deck is composed of, and it's just really nifty to have it being able to stop your opponents from making big explosive plays. 3 of your boss monster, ABC Dragon Buster. This card is really amazing. It was something that I love to do is utilize the second effect in the deck, but for those, again, who do not know, ABC Dragon Buster, when it is on the field during your turn, you can discard a card, banish a card your opponent controls. Then during your opponent's turn, you can target 3 of your banished Union Life-type machine monsters and special summon them, and this is a quick effect. What I find myself doing very often is sitting this card behind Infinity and Strikes, and then during the end phase, tributing him, special summoning my Union monsters to make rank 4 plays, and then again special summoning another Dragon Buster as if you're looping him. This is a really, really useful effect. It also dodges dangers that, you know, that would be lethal. If you were going to take a whole bunch of life point damage, you know, like let's say its attack got halved by some reason, or it was reduced to 0, or it would be destroyed, you can tribute it, chain the effect, dodge the destruction, and now you have a wall of nice monsters. Play this card at 3. It's a must. It's a boss monster. That's pretty obvious. Playing 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Nova and 2 copies of Cyber Dragon Infinity. The deck makes Infinity very easy. Infinity is nice, and it's easier to sit behind Infinity in this deck, especially because the Union monsters prevent Infinity from being destroyed. That's nice because you can really save your negates. If they were to Raigeki, you should not have fear because you have a Union monster already equipped to it. Playing 1 Utopia and 1 Utopia the Lightning. That's pretty easy to make rank 4s in the deck. Being able to push for game and adding that extra push is necessary. When you can OTK, you want to. 1 Constellar Pleiades. Just because he's easy, it's really nice to bounce cards back to your hand. Making rank 5s is not hard. 1 Volcasaurus, again for more OTKs. 1 Dark Rebellion XYZ Dragon. If you cannot get over something, you want to be able to get over it. Pave, just trample your path, make way, OTK. That's basically the thing, the most important thing that you can do aside from controlling your opponent during their turn. You want to control during their turn, OTK during your turn. Castel to get rid of troublesome cards. And this card I really wanted to talk about, the Bujintai Tsukiyomi. This card is really awesome because if you have dead Union monsters in your hand that you cannot get out of your hand, this card lets you discard your entire hand and draw 2 cards. So you're not really hurt by losing certain cards. The only cards that you would really be hurt by losing are the gadgets and your Galaxy Soldiers or your Toon Cyber Dragon. But usually you won't have those in your hand. They'll already be searched. You already have Infinity out on the board. But first turn, if you're having trouble establishing a board and you're able to make a rank 4 play, he's really nice to make rank 4 plays with. Getting the Union monsters in the grave is really nice. And on top of that, who doesn't care about 2 draws? You can always just set all your spells and traps, which of course you play more of than monsters, and then just discard your hand, and you do not mind. It's also just a really nice wall. It's 23 defense, so usually you want to set this card in defense mode. As for the extra deck, which is I'm really excited to talk to you about, you're playing 2 of the Star Destroyer Kaiju. The reason that you're playing this one over Demisio is because it's a light type machine and for no other reason. You do not have issues getting rid of this. This deck has really good monster road, spot removal, so it's not really hard to get rid of this. If anything, you could always, cast Dalek, shuffle back in the deck, bounce it with Constellar Pleiades, to recycle it, whatever. It's a really nice card to have in the deck. Just Kaijus are the out to everything these days. This card I'm excited to talk about. Electric Virus. By discarding this card from your hand, you can take control of 1 face-up machine type or dragon monster your opponent controls until the end of the phase. This comes clutch in both the Blue Eyes matchup because it's really hard to deal with, and your mirror matches because your mirror matches are very difficult to deal with. If you're able to take control of any kind of machine type monster that your opponent has that's also light, even if you're able to take control of their machine types, it just comes in really useful because now you have targets for your ABC Dragon Cannon. It's a really useful card. I find that it's going to be a really interesting tech card for the format. You're going to be finding out that a lot of people will be siding this card against you if you're playing ABCs. And yeah, I would just suggest playing it. Unfortunately, it is a Thunder Light type instead of a Machine Light type, but that still does not hurt you. You can play 2 Abyss Dweller because everything in this meta is revolving around the grave. Even, ABCs, you want to make sure that you're subduing your opponent. 3 copies of Gojin Match and 3 copies of Rivalry of the Warlords. This deck is really nice because it all has the same type of monsters. It all has the same attribute of monsters. So it's really easy, and it really shuts down decks like Metal Foe Yang Zings or Heroes or Infernoids, Infernoid DA. A lot of decks get stopped by Gojin Match and Rivalry of the Warlords. So it's a really nice card that you can actually abuse in this deck because it doesn't hurt you at all. Even your boss monsters are light type and machine type. So you don't really get hurt by having this floodgate on the board. Then I play 2 copies of Anti-Spell Fragrance. As I said, you do not mind setting your spells and your traps once you have a board established, stopping your opponent from doing things like activating cards like Raigeki or Twin Twister or anything that could be troublesome is really nice. Anti-Spell Fragrance is a really good card for the meta. Also, if you're playing against Blue Eyes, you have the upper hand because Blue Eyes relies mostly on their spell effects, the ability to draw, the ability to search. These are all spell effects that activate for Blue Eyes. So being able to use Anti-Spell Fragrance and just stalling them out for that 1 turn is just really nice. And again, it doesn't hurt you. for the most part, you'll be using your effects before anti-spell fragrance anyway. Anyway, that's the deck profile. I may work on duels for this deck list. I'm not so sure. I'm hopefully expecting to have live duels recorded for ADCs at my locals this weekend. If I'm able to go, I will. I'm definitely going to be doing vlogging either this weekend, or next weekend at locals. But anyway, tell me what your thoughts are on the deck. Do you think this is going to be a tier 1 deck? Do you think this is going to be meta breaking? Or do you think it's been overhyped? Do you think that it's missing something? Are there any tech cards that I missed? Is there anything that I could add to this deck to make it more consistent? Anyway, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your likes, your comments, and your subscribes ahead of time. I'd like to give a special shout out to the admin on my Facebook page. He's been really awesome. It's really hard for me to deal with time management when it comes to college and when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh, because college has to come before Yu-Gi-Oh. And he also gave me the idea for Electric Virus, and it's just a really good card. So special shout out to Z-Wolf. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the help. Anyway, thank you very much again for watching, and I will see you guys later.